Since the new chair, Omar Reyes, took over, the following have been fired. The former superintendent, Patricia Royal, who has a pending multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the school committee, Omar Reyes personally, as well as other members of the Pawtucket administration and the Valley News. Also fired was the right-hand person of the superintendent, Dr. Tate. And since last February, he has made it known that he wanted Dale McGee, the CFO, to be fired. The CFO was fired by the acting superintendent on November 17th, and I will not be surprised if he also files a lawsuit. I resign effective the following week in what I consider a hostile work environment. In this district, if you stand up for what you think is right or correct and don't go along with Omar Reyes' narrative, you'll be branded argumentative or disrespectful.
This community taught me the value of hard work and looking out for one another. From the Marine Corps to building businesses that have employed thousands, everything comes right back to this place. This Thanksgiving, we're making sure families feel cared for, because that's what Rhode Islanders do best.
All right, first on the agenda is public participation. As a reminder, all regular and special meetings of the committee should be open to the public. Executive sessions will be held only as prescribed by the Open Meetings Act. The committee desires residents of the school district to attend its meetings so that they may become better acquainted with the operations and the program of our local public schools. In addition, the committee would like the opportunity to hear the wishes and ideas of the public and has adopted the following rules and procedures. The agenda for each regularly scheduled meeting or special meeting of the school committee meeting shall include a public forum during which time individuals or group representatives will be invited to address the committee. The chairperson shall determine the length of the public participation segment, which I've determined to be 3 minutes. The chairperson will announce the length of each segment prior to the public participation item. Brief responses may be given during public forum to ask clarifying questions, but no votes may be taken. Any member may place a matter discussed in public forum on a future agenda. Improper conduct will not be allowed. Defamatory remarks are always out of order. If a speaker persists in improper conduct or defamatory remarks, the chairperson may terminate that individual's privilege of address. All remarks will be addressed to the chairperson of the meeting. Public forum is not the place to make complaints regarding employees of the Pawtucket School Department. Any person having such a complaint is encouraged to pursue the complaint with the superintendent, or the superintendent's designee. A sitting member of the school committee shall not partake in the public forum as a member of the public. All right, first on our agenda is Pat Ford.
Pat Ford, 10 Admiral Street, Providence, Rhode Island, Coalition Radio Network. I'll be uncharacteristically brief. I've been observing from afar for the last 9, 10, 11 months or so, and I've watched the chaos, the firings, the lawsuits, the backroom plays from afar, well informed by people around the state as well as people here in Pawtucket. And I have to say, and this is also after conversations with people who work in education in the state, that I'm not sure why anyone with any sort of career prospect would come to work at a high level. Not the teaching staff. Teaching staff are thoroughly professional, do the best they can under difficult circumstances, under the politics that are routinely part of the school department and the financial manipulations. I'm just not sure why anyone, whether it be a CFO, whether it be a high-level administrator, whether it be anyone involved in the management of the school system here, if they had prospects elsewhere, why they would possibly come here. It's just simply outrageous. I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you for your advocacy. All right, moving on to Mr. Adam Oliver.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm going to read this here because of the time constraint. I'm Adam Oliver. I'm the former controller for the school department, a position I held for the past 13 months. I wish I did not have to be here tonight, but I feel it's my obligation to be here. I want to express my opinions to you and to the public on these matters that I experienced in the last 13 months. since the new chair, Omar Reyes, took over, the following have been fired. The former superintendent Patricia Royal, who has a pending multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the school committee, Omar Reyes personally, as well as other members of the Pawtucket administration and the Valley News. Also fired was the right-hand person of the superintendent, Dr. Tate. And since last February, he has made it known that he wanted Dale McGee, the CFO, to be fired. The CFO was fired by the acting superintendent on November 17th, and I will not be surprised if he also files a lawsuit. I resigned effective the following week in what I consider a hostile work environment. In this district, if you stand up for what you think is right or correct, and don't go along with Omar Reyes' narrative, you'll be branded argumentative or disrespectful. On July 21st, I wrote to the school committee that the business office was severely understaffed. Where there were once 4 experienced accountants and a systems person, there were now only 3. And that 3 months, Dale McGee was the only accountant in that office, and he should be highly commended for keeping the business office functioning. I was written up for sending that email. I also listed that Pawtucket key administration personnel had resigned. The SPED director, the assistant SPED director, the CTE director, the JMW director, And although a key person was hired in human resources, she was then not allowed to perform her duties and was terminated. As I see it, Mr. Reyes has a very controlling personality. He works in a confrontational and not in a collaborative way. The acting superintendent acted up in putting up roadblocks to the business office rather than providing them with support. The superintendent refused to let the former systems person continue to assist the business office. He had written 37 reports, including the vital and complex budget file. The school committee hired A&M to a $118,000 contract.
Adam, you're out of time.
Can I be extended? It's only 3 more minutes, 2 more minutes. I'm more than halfway through it.
It's the rest of the committee. Oh, sure. But one thing you gotta remember, a part of our policy is that public forum is not the place to make complaints regarding employees of the Pawtucket School Department. Any person having such a complaint is encouraged to pursue the complaint.
I'm just trying to stay with the facts as I see them, okay? The school committee hired A&M to a $118,000 contract, in part to create a 27 outlook. This historical data was provided to them by the business office and was available to the school committee upon request. This $118,000 contract amount was never mentioned in public forum, and that amount would have provided a much-needed accountant. The business office had requested from RIDE an analysis of key elements of the Pawtucket School District's financial data. RIDE prepared this data, but was not allowed to bring it to the school committee. Now the school committee has signed another contract with A&M for $300,000 to run the business office for 3 months, a result of the CFO being fired. As chair of this committee, he has made the public media forum to control the message to the public is controlled by this committee here. Mr. Reyes had public conflicts with the mayor, conflicts with the city council, and recently with members of the school committee. As he has recently made derogatory statements about members of this committee, on which they rightly responded in defense of themselves, Omar has, since February, made disparaging and false remarks about the business office. He attempts to control people, and if not, he acts to get them fired. That is the environment he has created. He defends the acting superintendent when he's accused of plagiarizing his opening day speech. Mr. Reyes blasts the attorney of Allentown for trying to damage the reputation of an up-and-coming school administrator. Isn't that exactly what Mr. Reyes has done to this former superintendent, Patricia Royal, Dr. Tate, and most recently fired Chief Financial Officer Dale McGee? The Pawtucket School District requires an experienced superintendent, someone who will stand up to a controlling chairperson and be able to do the job running the third or fourth largest school district in the state. Not someone that the chair, Omar Reyes, intends on controlling. Using Mr. Reyes's method of operating, Mr. Reyes should be fired. It is up to this school committee and the public to rectify this situation. And I would like to put on the record my email to the school committee and my resignation letter. Thanks for your time. I hope it helps.
Thank you for your advocacy.